So here is a bunch of resources that I'm going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and just skip to going straight into them, because that way I can kind of show you a little bit of what the websites look like and have to offer. And then if you want this whole list of them, I've shared this presentation with Megan from the Career Center, so she can pass this along. So USAJOBS, probably the most common website that you guys have heard of if you've started federal research. This is our hub for all federal jobs at the end of the day. Now, what's kind of unique about programs like the one I came into, it didn't have to be posted publicly on USAJOBS. So there are opportunities that are not always posted on here. And the reason I wanted to say that is because sometimes you might be like, well, how did you get that? I didn't see that on there, because it was posted on the career website potentially. So there is always other ways, but this is going to be where a lot of jobs are housed. And speaking frankly, it's not the best website. It's very confusing. If anyone who's ever been on there probably feels that way too. But they are revamping it. They are really, actually in October it closed for 2 weeks for them to revamp it. So they really, OPM, who owns this website, which is the Office of Personnel Management, they are revamping this constantly. So I think good things to come from here. But being able to get in there and look at what types of jobs are offered in Kansas City, because you can get into an advanced search and actually look by city, see what kinds of jobs, and then again you can see all the agencies maybe in the Midwestern area if that's what you're interested in, or if you're interested in moving to California, you can look and see what types of jobs. So this will help with your job search for sure, looking at what are the job series called, because we call jobs in the federal government series. Like I'm a management and program analyst, as Megan said earlier, so I am a 343, it's a series number. So we have our whole another language with federal jobs. And so they have a student section to this page. Specifically, I would say this is a great resource for a lot of the summer internships that are posted from federal agencies. So when you're on the main page, there'll be a little link at the bottom that says student jobs. So it just kind of starts to separate it a little bit. USA.gov, and what this website kind of has is an index for all government departments and agencies. This list is huge because there are, just like there's a bazillion companies out there, there really are that many federal agencies. So when I get to another website, I think it might help a little bit more with how to narrow that down. So here's the partnerships website. I would say start here, makingthedifference.org. They really have kind of made this very user-friendly for anyone looking for a job search. They've kind of decided what are the pain points in researching. They've tried to make it easier. So they have hot job sections where they kind of focus on really unique jobs in the federal government for students, cool internships for the summer. As you can kind of see across the top, what kinds of federal jobs are there? You can go into that link, and then if you were in law school, you could hit on legal, and then immediately it pops up with different jobs that specifically would be related to your field of study. And then kind of even from there, what are some cool internships? And where are these jobs located? They really have kind of put it all in one place for you to kind of start that research. And they have academic quick guides, which is kind of a little bit of what I was just talking about. So for business and finance, you'd pull it up and it would show examples of types of jobs, what they're called in the federal government. For instance, a budget analyst is a very common financial job in the government, and maybe you wouldn't have thought about putting the word budget in front of the analyst. So it really helps you kind of figure out what types of things will mirror your skill set and major. And then again, where those jobs are located, and maybe examples of how many people each year are hired in that series across the government. So you can just kind of get an idea based on major. And they have 17 different majors listed on their website. And sometimes you might have an undergraduate degree in two things and you're interested in both. So this way you can kind of look at those different jobs. So I like this website a lot too. So again, when I was saying that you could go to that one page and start looking at 100 plus agencies and be like, I don't know which one I want to work for. Well, maybe you want to go this route. This is done every year, or actually now it's going to be annual. It used to be biannual, that the Partnership for Public Service puts out. It's actually a survey that all federal employees take, so it's a survey that I took, and that I'm rating my agency, the things about it that I like and that I dislike. And then eventually it's all accumulated into this into this report that's called the Best Places to Work in the Federal Government. And it's now going to be put out annually, and not to brag or anything, but GSA is always in the top 10, and they have been since this survey was started about 8 years ago. But this is a great way to look at it, and the reason I would say that I would also go this route, looking to see what agencies employees that work there think is the best, is because I have had friends leave GSA, and almost always they kind of what we like to call boomerang back and come back, because they go to an agency maybe because they do feel really close to that mission, but they go there and the the training opportunities are not as great. So although I'm kind of raving a lot about my training opportunities, it could be unique to my agency. And the only reason I caution you with that is that not every agency is the same. They all have their own policies. They all have their own budgets. But this is a great resource to kind of say, oh, so obviously Nuclear Regulatory Commission, I think they've always been in the top 3. And, I would never think of working there, but I would now because of this report personally. And so also, again, you can it can go into what kind of jobs are you interested in. If you're interested in talking about what things matter most to you, like training and development, you could see what agencies ranked highest in training and development, teamwork. Pay is on there because, again, not every agency follows the typical GS scale. Some have a higher pay scale. So if you, for instance, are in the field of law, every agency might do something different with that professional series. Some agencies may pay more for that degree versus another. And so this is a report that also has where the jobs are, and it's kind of showing, again, in the different fields, what agencies. So with legal, what agencies actually are looking for that major, same with education, engineering, etc. And then you can go straight onto the individual agency website. Once you've looked at some agencies and became interested maybe in their mission, maybe in the fact that they're on the best places to work, maybe because they have your, a lot of jobs in the major that you come from. So then you can kind of every single agency webpage, even though they're sometimes hard to find, which as you can see, this is going to start circling, has a career page and has information about it, finding career opportunities. Has even information about potentially like social media. You see this one has kind of a whole stay connected. And one of the best resources when I say network can be that you get on those pages, and if nothing else, if they have no information available about anything open, email the contacts on that page, on the career page. If it says that Erin Swain, is in the Kansas City GSA office, who runs the intern programs, email her and find out, about what opportunities lie ahead.